Yeah, so I'd support a minimum 21 age for acquiring a weapon. So going back a little bit, so in Parkland, we had the Parkland school shooting in Florida, and after Parkland, Florida passed some good laws under Governor Scott in Florida. They raised the minimum age to acquire a weapon to 21, and they instituted red flag laws. Here in Colorado, we have the red flag law in Colorado. Maybe it could be made stronger. I think with regard to the age to buy a weapon, it's always like bifurcated between a handgun or a long gun. And I think in Colorado, a handgun, the minimum age is 21, but a long gun isn't, and I think there's room for improvement there. So I think that's one thing for sure.
The long gun is 18, you said?
18, yeah, so it is 18, it ought to be 21 at least. Laws and minimum age to acquire a weapon, absolutely. Getting into the nitty-gritty of magazines. So one way in which gun sellers in Colorado get around the 30-round magazine limit is they'll sell 2 kits of 15 that the purchaser can then just assemble it and make a 30-round. So that's a sneaky thing that's done. And yeah, so I would want to see our Colorado law crack down on that, make them, because that's kind of like in a gray area. Well, they're abiding by the letter of the law. Well, let's make the letter of the law not allow that.
So there's no database that tells you Bob has 50 guns at home, Joe has 1. So I think that's the biggest problem, right? I think it's a right and a responsibility. So great, you wanna, I don't like guns, I hate guns. I feel like it should be treated like your driver's license.
Right.
You cannot see well, you have a certain health condition, you're not longer able to keep that car and drive around, I'm sorry, you have a DUI,
Right.
same thing, it should
Yeah.
be every 4 years. How about if you go and get your gun license, why can you not do something as simple as that?
Yeah.
And tell me how many guns you have home. You can have 100, I don't care, as long as you're responsible for all those hundreds, because we know we're not gonna take the guns away from anybody, which I have come to realize that, but,
So along lines of the analogy to automobiles and licensing of automobiles is insurance. So what role can there be for requiring insurance for the ownership of a gun?
Yeah.
And that could include safe storage requirements and maybe a discount on the insurance premium if you have safe storage and do this, that, and other thing, so that it doesn't get into a kid's hand, it doesn't get into someone else's hand. We read about these horrific school shootings and supermarket shootings, but we also from time to time read about toddlers picking up a gun and shooting a sibling.
Sure.
So there's so
Suicide.
much that ought to be done to prevent these horrific tragedies.
but why is it so hard?